my own behalf individually and on behalf of Texas Trial Lawyers Association. I think that the policy decision that has to be made today is whether or not we are going to treat Texas policyholders that purchase insurance for their automobiles and give them the same rights as people that purchase insurance for their homes. That's really the policy decision we have today, and I'll explain it why. Right now, under Chapter 542 of the Insurance Code on your homeowner's policy, if you file a claim, the insurance company has a duty to effectuate a prompt and fair settlement when liability is reasonably clear. The language that's used in Chairman Guerin's bill is from the Insurance Code, Chapter 542.003b4. It's not some made-up, pull it out from wherever language. It is known insurance code industry language that applies to every home insurance policy there is. And so on your homeowner's policy that you buy, they have a duty under 542 of the Insurance Code to treat you fairly and effectuate a prompt, fair settlement. When you buy auto insurance, after the Brainerd case, when you buy extra, when you buy uninsured, underinsured coverage, there is no such duty to treat you fairly and effectuate a prompt settlement when liability is reasonably clear. That's it. That's the policy decision for y'all to make. Do we want to give people that purchase automobile coverage the same, make sure insurance companies treat them the same as we do with homeowners policy? In a quick example of this, because what you get if you prove that they violated the insurance code and you have to go to trial is you receive your attorney's fees in addition to your actual damages so that you can be made whole. Today, after the Brainerd case, by definition, if you go to trial, you cannot be made whole because you cannot recover your attorney's fees. So out of your actual damages, you then have to pay your attorney. So you will never be made whole. So Mr. Guerin's bill says you can't be made whole. And I want to give a brief walk through how it actually happens in the real world, brief examples to show you the difference. Defendant driver runs a red light, hits me. He or she has $30,000 of coverage. The police accident report says it's his fault. 2 eyewitnesses say it's his fault. The video camera from the Walmart store actually caught it and shows that he ran a red light. That means liability is reasonably clear. I have $200,000 of medical bills, not counting my lost wages, but $200,000 of medical bills. I present that to the defendant driver's insurance company and say, I got $200,000 of bills. I've got all this evidence showing that it's your man's fault, and I'm demanding policy limits. They pay the policy limits because if they act unreasonably, then they're subject to paying in excess of their policy limits. So when they're presented with that situation under the Stowers doctrine, they tender their limits. Before I accept it, I've got to go to my insurance company and say, hey, I don't want to impede my rights on my own policy. Do you give me permission to settle with this other driver? If it's Dr. Oliverson, who has anesthesiology practice and has $30,000 of insurance coverage, my insurance company is going to say, no, he doesn't have enough insurance, but he's got some more money. You got to go get it. But otherwise, they'll say, yes, we see that there's not enough assets to satisfy, so we're going to allow you to settle with that defendant. Okay, I get that $30,000. I still have $170,000 of unpaid medical bills. I now present the exact same evidence that my insurance company said you can settle with the other insurance company. I take that same evidence, the videotape from the Walmart store, the 2 eyewitness statements, the police report, and my $170,000 now of unpaid medical bills. I'll present it to my insurance company, and right now they get to say, go jump in a lake. Get out of here. We're not paying you anything until you get a verdict. And if you get a verdict, we'll pay you our policy limits or whatever the jury says. Under Mr. Guerin's bill, if that exact same scenario happens and the jury finds that they didn't pay a prompt and fair settlement when liability is reasonably clear, I can recover my attorney's fees also and interest. So I can be made whole. That's how the real world works. And so when somebody comes up here and says, so it's the insurance company's choice. They get to say, liability is not reasonably clear, we'll go to trial. We think we won't have to pay attorney's fees because we are going to present our defense, and liability is not clear. That's a jury question that's asked every day in every homeowner's case. This is nothing new. Pattern jury charge will easily take care of the questions that the jury has asked. So, enough time. Thank you.
Members, are there any questions? Ms. Johnson.
No, we're fighting over who got.
Oh, okay. Well, that's, hey.
Thank you.